Where's the red light? There's my red light. 10 seconds out. Opening clip is 25 seconds. 3,
Thank you.
2, 1.
I know you. Look, George. It's Frank Sinatra.
What's that?
It's Frank. Oh, listen, George. We're home.
Oh, we're not home.
Sometimes he gets a bit confused.
Hello and welcome to the worst movie ever made, an experimental movie podcast designed with one thing in mind: to find the worst movie ever made. I'm your host, Chris Ackman. I'm joined by my co-host and fellow mad scientist, Rob Scucci, and Bob Hassick. Hey guys, how are you and why are we doing Left Behind?
Good. I don't know what we watched.
That's not true.
I normally defend everything Nicolas Cage does, has done, and ever will do. I can't wait for Longlegs to come out. I can't wait till The Surfer comes out. I really like Sympathy for the Devil. I also watched like 10 other. Rewatched Gone in 60 Seconds recently. I'm saving The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent until I've seen everything that's currently out under his name, and that's like that'll be my Eleanor from Gone in 60 Seconds. Like that's the one I'm saving for last.
You're Christian, though.
So I have mixed feelings because as stellar and amazing and professional and super awesome as Nicolas Cage is in my mind's eye, this was a steamy pile of shit.
Yes,
would you care to describe this steamy pile of shit, Bob? And how are you?
I'm doing all right, and I hesitate to try to describe this movie, but I will. And it's a two-parter this time.
All right,
so get ready.
Here we go.
Hey, Bob's about to do one of his famous movie explanations.
What? Where? What? Come on, man, out with it. We haven't got all day to waste. Just over there.
All right, so this is called The Left Behind, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So my alliteration is only 4 words. It's Cage creates Christian catastrophe.
Yeah.
Spot on.
So here's the first part. The Left Behind movie series, it's a series, is a Christian apocalyptic thriller that explores the biblical concept of the rapture. And for those not in the know, the rapture is the belief that Christians will be taken to heaven before the majority of end times events, leaving non-believers behind on earth.
Let the dead bury their own dead. Book of Revelations. So say.
All right. So in this rapture, which is this movie, non-believers are left behind while believers are sent to heaven, but not just their souls, their earthly bodies.
They're naked.
Stripped of all clothing, no matter what they were doing or how many people they were responsible for. You know, mom, dad, bus drivers, pilots.
Yep.
The list would go on. I mean, can you imagine being that one Jewish kid in a classroom full of believers when this happened?
Could you imagine being the pedophilic priest and find out that the kid who's excited about his baseball glove is now naked and supple and standing before you?
It's very possible. So anyway,
I think he would stay here. He would just be jealous of all the naked, supple children up in heaven.
I don't know what God's into, but I think he digs that shit.
Yeah. So anyhow, Nick Cage is left behind, and he decides to turn around the plane, thus creating more of a catastrophe than would have existed had he just remained on course.
That's the truth.
All right.
Yeah, that is a major catch-all for me, but I'll stop there.
Okay.
Right, well, we'll leave it for then. For now, why don't we throw it to YouTube with some YouTube comments, Rob?
You guys are gonna have fun with this.
And remember, my friend,
Poo-poo and pee-pee on YouTube!
will affect you in the future.
Number 1. Great movie. Thank you. Brothers and sisters, believers and non-believers. When the time comes, it will be akin to this movie. People will dismiss God. Trust in wormholes / CERN. Turn their backs on him, but we must do the opposite. We all must be born again and put our faith in Christ to be saved from his wrath that awaits the events of this movie. You don't have to be religious. Repent, or follow Christ. Love you all. John 14:6, 1 John 1:9, 1 Thessalonians 5:9. That's the first comment.
Jesus.
That's the first. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Next comment. One thing the director forgot. When the bus falls off the overpass, it wouldn't have been driverless that long. Chloe had time to move away from the mall, so several minutes had passed. Most of the vehicle crashes would have happened simultaneously much earlier when the drivers were taken.
This was in my catch-all, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say it when I get
So
there.
they're just ruining everything. Here we
Yeah.
go. All right, next comment. This is one of several views of the end times. Don't think this is the only one. Oh.
Ooh.
Next comment. The gate to enter the plane is 316 for God. So loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. So repent and be baptized in the name of Jesus Christ for the remission of sins. There's a blue heart. Get born again and don't be left behind. Oh, they use the title. They use it.
Wow, they really did.
Ooh.
Right, I got two more for you.
Oh,
I
God.
wonder what happened in the prisons when this happened. Everyone finds God in prison. I wish they had shown a prison part. Rosy cheeked smiley face emoji. I loved the movie and I believe Jesus died for our sins. John 3:16. And my say the best for last. I can't tell you what just happened in this movie and I'm actively watching it.
All right, that's fair.
Was that one of us?
No, but it should have been.
Well, let's talk about what happened or what they tried to make happen in this movie. But we're going to start first with talking about movies we compare to it in the same kind of genre. This is test number 1, the worst of its kind.
The airplane, the telephone, the electric light, the vitamins, radio, and even television.
It's the worst of its kind.
Blackberry mango. We don't get polar around here too often, aside from the basic flavors.
Oh.
And Stacy sells it
hey.
at the store and chomped at the bit, and I'm slurping on it.
Yeah,
Slurping on
man.
the bit.
I've got some wild cherry here. It's called Clear and Sparkling. It's a big seltzer bottle. They're like $1 at the store across the street from my house. They're pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they taste real nice.
Nice.
Jeepers Creepers with Justin Long, a 45. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's bad.
2012 with John Cusack, a 39. I understand why that one, though.
That's fun though.
Yeah. Well, I've
Fun
never
little
seen
romp.
it.
Okay.
Was it?
Yeah.
Unstoppable with Denzel in 87. Can't believe that. That train movie was in 87.
Yeah.
Wasn't very good. Jake Gyllenhaal in The Day After Tomorrow, 45.
Yeah.
And then Catwoman with Halle Berry, an 8. Where could they find that one, Rob?
www.theworstmovieevermade.com. Just click the buttons. You'll find it.
Very nice. For an average of 44.8, Left Behind. What did it have?
Based on YouTube, 47 point... No. 31.6.
I'm afraid Catwoman's going to skew our results. I'm going to guess 10.
Oh,
0.
Oh,
again,
Okay.
another week of goose egg. So
We're
we have a
stepping in
negative
it.
44.8.
Yeah.
Yeah, it deserves a 0. I completely
Yeah.
agree. All right, how about we sum this movie up for the audience in our limerick? Test number 2, ain't that a pitch?
How about that kinky sex?
I can't resist your charm, Danny boy.
Wow, what a pitch!
Who's going? Bob, you go first. You've been
Yeah, I
second
went
sandwiching for the last
first.
month and a half.
All right.
Or you can go third. I don't care.
I apologize to my grandparents for this one. Okay.
Oh, jeez.
There once was a man named Jesus, and a movie about him to displease us. And according to Christians and most politicians, God's rapture included every fetus.
Oh God, that's
Nice. How about
Wow.
how about I'll second sandwich and then Chris, you want to close because you don't remember writing yours?
yeah.
said
I don't
on
remember
the
what
text.
it
All right,
says.
so so we'll all learn something when it's your turn.
Okay, yeah, that's fun.
All right. Rayford Steele wants to join the Mile High Club, but this pseudo-apocalypse is miffing his chub. His wife's a religious whore, but she knows her ecclesiastical lore. Turns out she's right about the end times, but nobody listened because she's a bore.
Too true. That's going to come up in our most offensive test. Just a little foreshadowing for you.
Yeah,
Okay.
Bob, I'm still reeling from yours a little bit here, but I'll give mine my best shot.
if there was an audience, there would have been a groan.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Speaking of true, is it true that the Almighty sets up all this red tape? At Rapture time, non-belief is as bad as murder and rape. As bad as this movie is stinking, it still got me thinking. If I'm going to heaven naked, I need to get in shape.
Hey.
Okay. I like Chris's better than Rob's. I'd give Chris a 4 or 5.
And I would give Bob. Let's do a tie. A Chris and Bob tie at 4 or 5.
Oh,
Chris, who would you vote for, Chris?
Me.
Ah,
All right, so Chris wins. You fucking dickhead.
4.75 then. Nice job,
he did
Chris.
give himself a 5. Okay.
Oh, great job, Chris. That's wonderful. All right, let's start to test number 3, the most offensive.
The sky to which she had once looked was now only a covering for her.
The most offensive.
Hey, you know what? You actually might be glad that I did that later in the pod, and you'll see why if you hang around. So stick around with us as we talk about what's offensive in this movie. Number 5, little person POS PSA. What was all the little person like taking offense to all the comments that weren't even about his height bullshit? That guy had a real complex.
That was Vern Troy, right?
No.
That wasn't Vern Troy?
No, it was some mean looking dude.
I thought it was.
I've seen him in stuff, but he wasn't.
I have
Vern
too.
Troyer.
No.
So does that make me look like an asshole because I basically just said all midgets look the same?
Well, you hadn't yet. But now you do.
So when Peter Dinklage tries getting in the overhead.
Jesus Christ. He's never going to be a guest on the pod now. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Sorry.
All right, number 4. Bitch breaking windows with Bibles.
Yeah, that was in my catch-all. Yeah.
That's Chloe, right? When she's just like...
Yeah. She's like bending the
yeah.
thing and crying into it, and then she hucks it out the window.
And those are old like farmhouse style windows too. You can't just like go to Lowe's and replace that.
Yeah, right.
You need to like call like American Pickers and they'll restore it by like finding another similar barn.
And it wouldn't have broken.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably true too.
That's
but I mean, does she really know that like her family's never coming back? I mean,
no.
At this point, I wouldn't be convinced that it was the Rapture. It's been like an hour.
She wasn't even a believer. Yeah, it's been only an hour and she's not even a believer. So like, none of that. That was not a healthy reaction.
No.
To the information that was available to her.
Her emotional reign was played a little loose for me.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, and Rob, I think you're really gonna like this one. You remember when the guy, the little Vernon Troyer, you know?
Yeah.
You know when he's like licks his finger and he goes over and tests the chair to see if he can like get a reaction out of invisible big guy that was next to him?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I called that the return of Wet Willy Whispers.
Okay.
What was his name from Raiden
Lambert,
Yeah, Chris Lambert in the first Mortal Kombat does some Wet Willy whispering, which is pretty
White Lightning, Wet Willy Whispers.
White Lightning.
Yep.
That's the truth. All right, let's throw it to our first clip of the day. This is number 2. Crazy Lady.
Hey, you'll never guess who I met at the airport. Buck Williams. Cameron Williams.
From the news?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Did you get a chance to talk to him?
I did, actually. And he's a great guy. Just so happens to be gorgeous. I told him you were a fan.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, you're not the only one who thinks every earthquake could be the end of the world. Some crazy lady cornered him in the airport.
Oh.
That's not how I meant that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it really is. That's not what you say.
Because you have the emotional range of a 5-year-old. Flapped out.
I don't know. Get ready, because every clip is that poorly acted. I'm not kidding. If it's got Nicolas Cage in it, then he's doing like a watered down Nicolas Cage. So it's not too bad, honestly. He's really not bad in this movie. He's just there's no energy.
This was at the tail end of his straight to video days, right before his renaissance. So I think he was just like, I was in 15 movies this year, and the good ones start in 2015, 2016. That's when Mom and Dad comes out, and
so he's like
he's done,
bored and sad.
He's waiting for the blue chips.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
All right. But that doesn't compare, in my opinion, to number one, and that's the supersonic skipper suffocating scared citizens. So, Nicolas Cage's character, Rayford Steele, needs to get control of his plane. So all these people that are panicking because their loved ones just vanished on the plane, he turns off the air inside the plane. At least that's what I think he did, and they all started suffocating. And then he told them to get back in their seats, so they listened, which to me was kind of a dick move.
I don't think I would act differently because, like, what's the alternative? They punch the windows out and everybody gets sucked out of the side of the plane. You know,
yeah,
I think that's pretty good de-escalation, but
suffocation.
No, he just depressurized the cabin. It's not suffocating, but like they'll breathe the oxygen, they'll calm down, and they'll stop like I don't know things that I know you have a clip for later, so I'm not going to mention it now.
All right, fair.
Yeah,
I had a mention that I swore you would have had. It was not my number one.
What do you
got? It's Muslim midget martial arts.
Well, yeah. Okay.
Muslim midget.
Does that end up in your anything?
That's in the write-up.
It
ends up in the write-up.
So. Yeah, I believe so. We'll see about that.
I described that scene to my son, and he laughed his ass off. He's like, "Why would that be in this movie if it wasn't a comedy?
Why not? It's a divine comedy."
All right, let's throw it to Rob Zadry.
Hey, Rob, this guy wants a peek at your goods.
Permit me to see one.
Bring in the big one.
Rob's ad read.
Today's episode of The Worst Movie Ever Made is brought to you by our returning sponsor, Hot Dogs at 3 a.m. The sun is almost rising. The morning dew glistens on the grass, sending myriad flickers of refracted light astray as they bounce softly off the neighboring pussy willows. A chipmunk with full cheek pitter-patters gingerly across the lawn and playfully trots off toward the bushes before the lawn sprinklers pop out like hydroelectric gophers and saturate the air with their nourishing fluids. And then there's you. Naked, afraid, shaking because the methadone clinic doesn't open till 9 and it's been 3 hours since your last drink. Something soft, warm, and smelly is between your body and the cold, damp ground, and you're not sure whether you soiled yourself or landed on the neighbor's cat when you blacked out and fell out of the tree. You seek beneath your flabby body with your wiry fingers to examine whatever remains from your initial impact and raise your fingers to your nose. Smells like mustard, relish, and just a hint of onion. Looks like lunch will be served a little early today. You lucky dog, you. Hot dogs at 3 a.m. America's acquaintance.
Okay. All right. Well, our continuing sponsor, I couldn't be happier to have them. Thank you so much, Hot Dogs at 3 a.m. Thank you, Rob, for that charming soliloquy. Let's move it now to test number 4, the worst dialogue.
When I heard this dialogue, I thought,
how can any race be so stupid?
Oh, right.
Rob, was his fall softened by? I mean, was there a bun?
Yeah, it was steamed. I mean, it was a potato roll. I left that out, but
that explains why he's not injured then.
Yeah.
You know, after falling out of the tree. Yeah. But potato roll will do it.
But potato or Hawaiian rolls, those are good blow softeners.
Yeah, for sure. We've all been there. Yeah. All right, let's throw it to number 5. This is coffee.
Wow, that investigative journalism, it really pays off.
I just wanted to say thank you for rescuing me for that nutty lady.
Well, thank my mom. She's who I've been rehearsing for.
Oh, is she pretty
nutty?
Cool.
Actually, I was looking through the thesaurus on my phone this morning, and I've decided to go with wacko.
Wacko?
Mm-hmm.
I like that word, wacko. Can I buy you a coffee?
No, I'm fine.
Come on. What if I throw in one of those fantastic little boxes with the strawberry jam?
Oh my god.
If you want to get a finger in, you got to at least offer her Sparrow.
I don't believe in
agreed.
coffee.
You what?
I don't believe in coffee.
Yeah, right.
That's what I wanted more. I wanted more of that. I wanted more of like, I'm sorry, I don't believe in that. like every fourth line.
I mean, they were very ham-fisted with the like, as if Christians are persecuted for being weirdos and not like 80% of the entire country of America.
Yeah.
So yeah, your mom's one of those nutty wackos that's a religious person. Yeah. But really, I hated most the. I'm gonna throw in. I get you a bagel, a coffee, and one of those boxes with the strawberry jam. What the fuck he was talking about? What is he talking about? Is he talking about one of those like little cartons of spreadable shit that you put on your bagel?
Like one of those bistro boxes that has like a 3-week-old hard-boiled egg and a cracker.
Yeah, a couple crackers, some grapes, and
yeah.
But it's
strawberry jam.
It's an airport vendor, so like they're just like scratching off the expiration date and writing on a new one.
Yeah. Let's throw it to number 4. I don't know why I named it this, but I named it Hammer of Cheese.
Well, I'm guessing not as often as you do.
Well, Matthew 24, verse 7 says that there shall be famines, pestilence, and earthquakes in divers places. All of these things, the disasters, the wars, they are all signs.
So God knew that all these things were going to happen.
Honey, God knows everything.
So then why doesn't he do something? I mean, he is God, right? Couldn't he stop a flood if he wanted to? Maybe send a little rain to stop a famine?
It's a fallen world. God created it perfect, and we destroyed it with the first sin.
Who destroyed it? Me? You? Him?
The Lord works.
In mysterious ways, I know. But somehow people keep believing that he loves them. Now that is mysterious.
Have you ever seen that meme where it's like a cassette tape and it's like the New Testament read by a condescending 14-year-old atheist?
No.
That's what this reminds me of.
Yeah, it does, definitely.
Yeah.
And it's just like not the smackdown that they think they wrote, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I think you could have gotten there and really like puzzled the woman by writing a little better there. But she throws the hammer down. I guess that's why I wrote a hammer of cheese. But like, that's what she thinks she did. But it comes across so bad. And this is right up front in the movie, so you know. I mean, actually, both of these clips were really early.
Yeah.
And we've got one more really early one. This is number 3. This is One Carry On.
Vulture comes up to the gate and drops 2 dead rabbits onto the floor. And the flight attendant says, "I'm sorry, you're only allowed 1 carry-on."
I'm sorry, Captain, that's bad.
Patty thought it was funny.
Well, if you have any more bad jokes, you can come and find me.
Ooh. Hey, Marcus, they get that computer problem figured out?
Negative that, Pancon. Apparently some of the equipment on the flight deck is outdated.
Yeah, and you had me flying east. In 6 hours' time, I'll be 9 hours older.
Do that for about 6 years, and maybe you'll catch up to me. Happy birthday, buddy. Have a good flight.
Thanks.
Happy birthday, buddy. Oh, man. They've got quite a relationship, huh?
Yeah, they go way back.
I love when he's telling the joke, though, and he's like, this vulture has 2 rabbits. And he draws them down, and the flight attendant's like...
Yeah, I felt his warm breath in my ear.
Yes.
Like, while I was watching it.
Yeah, honestly, it stank. But I thought the carry-on joke was like a bird joke at first because it's a vulture, but like it's 2 rabbits, not 2 vultures.
Mm-hmm.
So that wasn't the joke. The joke was simply that the stewardess wasn't going to let them on with more than 1 rabbit.
Yeah.
Because what stewardesses are used to seeing all sorts of things, like they would let you on with the rabbit. I don't really get the joke. It's not funny.
Me either. It's not good.
No. Okay, let's move to number 2. This is Abducted.
What is wrong with you? You really believe a group of terrorists could develop a weapon like this? We are not talking about a car bomb!
If this was a weapon, it's not from this planet.
Car bombs.
What exactly are you saying?
Look, I'm just saying, maybe they were abducted.
Aliens? Come on. Can you believe this guy?
And that's the way the clip ends. You got to check out our YouTube channel because it starts with, you know what that sound was in the beginning? It's the Muslim guy holding a toothbrush up to the small guy in a threatening manner.
Yeah.
Because the small dude was going through his carry-on and looking for a bomb, I guess, or a gun or something. But the dude pounces on it. You think there's going to be conflict. In fact, before that scene, they transition away and there's a gunshot, but it's like somebody robbing a bank and the bank owner or something, or the jewel shop owner, like blasts them through the window and then reclaims his jewels. Anyway, you're supposed to think the Muslim guy did shoot the little guy in the plane, but then they come back and he's holding a toothbrush, which is just plays for comedy, but it's definitely not a comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then it ends like so awkwardly.
Yeah.
What's that? Yeah, he's
not even
like
a carry-on joke.
Yeah, right.
But he leans into the whole like, no, we do car bombs. It's like, no, the correct thing to say was like, not all of us are terrorists, you fucking idiot.
No, the writers did that, Rob.
I know.
Yes, they definitely did. The writers are racist.
Yeah.
What do you think? I'm going to drop some kind of chemical weapon in here, and that's why everyone vanished?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to shoot everybody on the plane, take it over, and fly it into a building? That's why everybody vanished? Because I'm going to turn this plane into a car bomb, and then
just like three's enough. Just stop. Just stop.
All right, let's throw it though to number 1. The reason
You know what? Fuck it. The reason you.
It's about 1 every 6 podcasts. I've decided that I forget about the drum roll. The reason that I think this is so bad is because it really has no place in this movie whatsoever, but it's also bad. So go ahead and play Scotch.
6 hours to London. No, we'll be laughing at that soon. The hyperjet, it'll change everything.
Oh, yeah? Why is that?
The Defense Department.
Did you say Defense Department?
Yeah. It seems they've been developing a new jet, okay? It'll carry 300 passengers at Mach 40. New York to London, 6 minutes.
6 minutes?
6 minutes.
That's pretty fast.
Personally, I think they're lying.
Yeah, I think that's a good guess.
No, there's no way they developed it themselves. I'm guessing they reverse engineered it from something else. Probably something from Area 51.
Yeah. Scotch, please.
So.
That's what you call a red herring.
Yes.
Because because you don't know what's happening. I mean,
the movie is about, though?
But the whole thing is, if it's a franchise and it's about the apocalypse, then like, if you're not seeing this movie as an outsider, which I don't think anybody willingly would aside from us, then like, you'd realize this is a Rapture movie and that the alien angle doesn't make sense. But like, if you're just like watching it casually, maybe it showed up on like, UPN or something, or TNT. Maybe
they're characterizing, but they're characterizing every stereotypical non-believer. They have the gambler, they have the Muslim, they have
the adulterer,
all the different characters, and what's that guy? The conspiracy theorist.
Conspiracy theorist, yeah. Math whiz.
I'm not sure what the journalist is all about. Like, he seems okay.
Yeah, he does seem fine.
You know
what happened to him?
Because his job is to maintain some semblance of objectivity, and he went into this whole incident with an open mind, Chris.
Jesus Christ! Did you hear that? I'm sorry. What was that? Did you hear that motorcycle? Like it was like right next to my head. Is what it sounded like. Yeah, but okay. So here's my problem, though. Then there's the old man disappears. The old woman is still there.
Yeah, I know.
Does that mean that she's a non-believer because she has dementia and just can no longer hold her beliefs? Is that what we're meant to assume, or does she have a dark past?
There's a hidden joke between two South Park episodes. It's in the titles. One episode's called "Do Handicapped People Go to Hell?" And then part 2 is called "Probably."
That's really fucked up. But yeah, I mean, how could you be a believer if you can't hold beliefs? I guess.
Yeah.
All right, test number 5. This is the worst production.
How are you gonna make this movie?
Shooting first and asking questions later.
All right, I called this one. It's kind of a long tagline. A reboot that nobody asked for, except maybe some lawyers.
Okay.
Okay. So this goes into what we were talking about on our group text earlier. So the original Left Behind movie was called Left Behind the movie. It was made in 2000. And since then, there was a lawsuit, or should I say a legal dispute, over the Left Behind film rights. Started in 2008. Cloud 10 Pictures settled with two lawsuits against it, and Namesake Entertainment, which co-produced the original trilogy. And in 2010, Cloud 10 again reacquired the rights to film, paving the way for a reboot. So this is actually the sequel. Or should I say, this was a reboot that spawned even more sequels.
Right.
And the original stories, or should I say, the original trilogy, was unrelated to this, but it was based on the same book. It's insane.
Like Rob said, was it each movie is just the same exact time frame? Like when it happened, it's just different families dealing with it and stuff, like different situations.
I don't know. I didn't follow the sequels. I was too upset.
That is fair.
They wrote the screenplay for this in 2012, and the guy that directed this was a stunt artist. That's
a stunt artist.
Yes, and he's the one who directed Vic Armstrong. He directed this movie.
What's a stunt artist? Like,
I'm guessing a stunt man.
Like you paint action shots of fruit.
I think they just call him a stunt artist because they don't want to say stunt man, stunt woman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, my finishing line is: this film also looked too digital. The acting was stale, and the story was unnecessary.
Yes, all of those, all valid points.
Piling on here.
I had to include something more than just lawsuits.
Yeah.
Well, that was great. Let's throw it to test number 6, the worst acting.
The saucers are up there, and the cemetery's out there. But I'll be locked up in there.
It's the worst acting.
Just think some of these sounds could have Left Behind dialogue on it next season.
They could.
It really could.
It's in the running. Number
1, Daddy.
This is no way.
Check it out in there. See what you got.
The brand new baseball glove that I've been asking for. No way. Mom, who's here? Mom, Chloe's here. She's here, Mom.
At the airport.
Mom. She's here, Mom.
I love that he was like, "What did you get me at the airport?" And she's like, "Actually,
yeah, I got you a baseball glove at the airport where they sell baseball clubs and gloves." What did I just say? Baseball club? I think
a bat. They're called bats.
Yeah, one of those. Right.
Baseball clubs. Baseball
clubs.
Go on.
And not like the clubhouse kind of club. Anyway, number 2. This is Manifested.
Carrie's gone. Ray, what is happening?
Hattie, you've got to pull yourself together.
Please just hold me. Just hold me.
Hattie, look at me. God. We're trained for emergencies, and we're going to do our jobs. But I'm on my own up here. So I really need you to focus. All right? Okay?
Okay.
Now listen. I want you to go back and do a full check of the manifest. So at least find out who they are and how many of them are missing. All right?
Ray, I'm scared. Aren't you?
I will be. As soon as I have time.
That's a pretty badass line, though, in any other context.
Yeah.
I'll be scared when I'll be scared when I have time. Like, yeah, dude. Yeah.
That's like when Jesse Ventura is like, I ain't got time to bleed in The Predator.
Yeah, it was kind of lifted
One of
from
those
that.
dope-ass lines.
It really
Yeah,
was.
it really is. It really is. All right, but that stewardess, I'm sorry, just really god awful.
Yeah.
I'm scared. Number 3. Voice.
This is the Steele household. Please leave your name and number. Mom?
Mom, please pick up the phone. I don't know what's going on.
Oh.
Raimi, if you went home and you can hear me right now, I need you to listen, okay? I know that you're scared, and I'm scared too, but I really need you to pick up the phone. I need you to let me know that you're okay. I need to hear your voice. I love you guys.
Oh, does it get worse than that?
Yes. Yeah.
It does?
Yeah.
Well, a little bit. I mean, I'm going to jump back one line and say, you said stewardess? And someone else mistook Vernon Troyer for another little person? What is this, the 90s?
Yes.
Shit. Flight attendant. Flight attendant.
That's when my mind stopped developing. So, yes, it is.
Yeah, as soon as you discover alcohol and marijuana, you're pretty much done for. And
yeah.
Unfortunately for me, in my youth, it might have been around the end of the 90s. Just kidding, Mom.
Anyway, you're right. That was bad.
Yeah. Why is the kids... I just got to get this out of the way now. Why is Ray's son named Raimi?
It's bad.
What the fuck is that? Never heard that before. But yeah, the tremble in the lead actress's voice is really forced and terrible. So just listening to that clip pissed me off again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It didn't piss me off enough to carry a gun on a plane. This is number 4.
4 yard.
Gun on a plane.
Not where we think we are, or even when.
What do you mean?
Well, what if we pass through a wormhole, a wrinkle in the space-time fabric? Theoretically, we could be in a different dimension where those people don't exist, where they never existed.
That's insane. Stop it! That's enough, all of you! I know what's going on here.
You do?
How much did he pay you?
What are you talking about?
I can't believe he's doing this. She's my daughter!
Okay, miss, I don't know what you think's going on here, but you need to... Where did you get that?
You.
Yes.
How much did he pay you?
What?
Where did he take her?
Please, who are you talking about?
My husband.
Miss, please!
Shut up. Just shut up!
Ma'am, who is your husband? Just tell us that.
Why are you doing this?
Listen to me. I promise you, I've never met your husband.
Why are you going along with this?
Lady, look. I don't know what this is. But why don't you just...
How about I just shoot you in the face?
Heaven. What is...
You know what scenes like? You know what scenes like that tell me?
What?
Which is more upsetting than the scene itself.
What?
There's context that is missing. That's probably in a director's cut somewhere.
Yeah, it really does.
Meaning there's a longer version of this movie in existence somewhere in the vault.
They really needed to spell this out better. I mean, they do mention that she's the daughter of a famous football player.
Yeah.
And then we have to put the pieces together that the father is a terrible guy who wants his daughter back so badly that she thinks that he staged some kind of like drug the mom and send her back out on the plane with the actors that like he paid to be on the plane in the first. Like, what the fuck is she thinking about? And then she like decides to try to kill herself shortly after that for some reason.
Yeah.
Not get her daughter back. Never mind that. That's over.
Yeah.
She just decides she's going to kill herself.
Yep.
I guess she doesn't give a shit about her daughter. Okay, well, there's the worst acting for you. I think we have one more clip coming up later in the catch-all, plus a nice abuser whenever you feel like abusing the privilege, Rob. Help yourself. But for now, we'll throw it to fact or no fact.
Marcus.
I don't know why that tickled me so, but it sure did. Go ahead, Bob.
Here's fact or no.
You didn't come here for crappy poo-poo facts like this.
I'm gonna fix the levels on this when I remember to.
Why? It's gonna be over in 2 weeks anyway.
Gathering.
That's what makes it so funny.
Same Jewish.
No, you came here for some stone-cold facts from Bob, like this one.
In my land, women are for advancing the race, not for fighting man's battle.
Oh, goodness. Okay. We're talking about Left Behind, which I affectionately call it Cleft Behind.
Okay.
There's a Urban Dictionary term for the line that goes down the middle of the behind is called the cleftal horizon.
Okay.
Okay.
And so
Okay.
Cleft Behind actually works.
Yeah,
But
I was trying to think of a way to defend you because normally I try to if your title doesn't make any sense to me. And last week I think we talked about replacing a woman's hymen by pulling her head back like a cherry.
Like a Pez dispenser.
Cherry Pez.
I'll never forget. Never forget. Okay, so
anyway,
I had a hard time finding facts, so this is not a stretch. It's just you might have come across these just because we didn't research that hard, and there wasn't much to research. There was actually more information about the original Left Behind movie than this one.
Okay,
but I did my best.
I believe that.
So 4 things are real, 1 thing is a lie, and you're supposed to find the lie. Here we go. One of the writers was quoted as saying, "It is the best movie I've ever seen on the Rapture." Okay, second one. One of the writers was quoted as saying, "I believe it will renew interest in the entire series." Third one. Most of the cast were volunteers from local churches. Fourth one. The film grossed double its $16 million budget at the box office and home video sales. And
Doubled?
fifth, Nicolas Cage's brother Mark, who is a pastor, is a big fan of the novel and asked Nicolas Cage to star in the movie as a favor to him.
Huh.
There it is.
Okay. Okay, so I believe 1 and 2. Because the people that had the audacity to write this, who are also inherently artistic people, I'm using the term artistic like in air quotes loosely, but like
right, like a stunt artist.
There is an air of self-importance, and I think the people that sign on for projects like this, like they're firmly rooted in their beliefs, where they think like they probably thought this was the next Passion of the Christ. I sincerely believe that, and like, I mean. The number 2 is not too far. I mean, like, you don't make sequels unless they're either a critical or a commercial darling, and we know it wasn't a critical darling based on an earlier test. So that means it had to have made money, which brings me to number 4. It had to have been a commercial success if they made 2 more. Like, no, even if they won the lawsuit to get the rights to the movie, like, they're not making another Flash. It didn't make its money back, you know? And I know there's a whole Ezra Miller controversy or whatever, but like it made money. It just didn't make back the entire budget. So they're never going to make another one. They're not going to replace the character. They're just going to, it's done.
Yep.
So it probably did.
Gone in a flash.
And it didn't gross double. It at least broke even. It had to have at least broken even. So 4 might be some foolery there. Most of the cast were volunteers. I didn't recognize most of them. So probably. Cage's brother Mark is a big fan of the novel and asked him to star in the movie. See, this is going to make me look bad because I'm a big Nicolas Cage fan, but I never heard of him having a brother named Mark. So I'm going to say 5's a lie.
Okay.
He might.
I'm leaning. Go ahead.
He might have a brother named Mark.
Yeah,
but he might not.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I'm guessing number 3 is the switcheroo because Bob likes to do this. Like there's volunteers from a local church in like one of the other sequels or the original, something like that. Because I felt like I did recognize a few of the cast members. That doesn't mean that most of them weren't from churches. So it's still believable, but I'm willing to bet that they actually cast just a bunch of like newbie actors who I saw later, like the small man and I felt like the financial guru guy I've seen before. I felt like the lead actress I might have seen once or twice. You know, I feel like I saw a number of these people. So I'm going to go with number 3 as the line.
Did Rob pick one?
5.
Okay. All right. So, first of all, both quotes were accurate. You're exactly right.
Okay.
And Chris is gonna be so happy. He's gonna like jizz on his microphone.
I really am. Go ahead.
That fact was from the original Left Behind the movie. Most of the cast were volunteers from local churches.
Fist pump.
This one was actually cast, and yes, it did gross double. God. It's $16 million budget. It was almost a full double with just the box office, but with home video sales, it pushed it over.
Okay.
God, I love
and yes, Nick Cage's brother, according to my research, did ask him to star in the movie as a favor.
Oh my God. Thank you, Lord. I think with that victory, I've secured my place in heaven when the rapture comes. Because that's 2 weeks in a row at least, maybe 3. I'm not sure, but I'm winning this episode again. Another one. Big victory for Chris. Check plus. Let's go to the catch-all.
This gives me a plan.
Time for the catch-all!
Can you win the catch-all? I'm going to win this one too.
Yeah.
I think you're worshiping false idols, Chris.
Yeah.
I worship this podcast. Green Mountain Coffee Airport, New York. I'm pretty sure it was a Green Mountain Coffee Airport, a very small one in New York somewhere. Because all I saw everywhere in the airport was Green Mountain Coffee advertisements on the walls, the little leaflets, the cups on the side of the bar.
That sponsorship is the only reason the movie exists. That's probably where they got their financing.
Probably.
Good. It's a good call.
Nicolas Cage is in it?
Salary.
Yeah. Probably.
Making that Green Mountain money.
So, because we were immature kids, as all kids are, when we first saw the Star Wars as little kids, we were like, when I first saw Star Wars, I was probably 5 or 6, and it came out.
Okay, yeah.
It came out when I was like 1. But anyway, when Obi-Wan Kenobi gets killed by Darth Vader, his robe drops to the ground.
Yes.
But he disappears.
Yes.
And we used to say as kids that he went to the naked party. That was our joke. And as soon as the kids all disappeared, I didn't know this was about the rapture, okay? I just pictured a bunch of naked kids somewhere. And no, there's nothing else to say about that.
Okay.
Right. Of course. Don't worry. We've already made the association with the priest, and we know you're a teacher, not a priest, so we won't go there. Go ahead, Rob.
I'm jumping ahead because this is the one bone I want to pick, and I want to say, excuse me, I want to be the one that says it. Chloe knows how to ride a lot of vehicles at very short notice.
She does.
Yeah,
really
I wrote that down.
That's one thing I hate. I don't think I have a hard time believing action heroes could jump from one vehicle to another without like muscle memory. Like the lights are here, the wipers are here. Like, it's a different vehicle.
Yeah, it's one thing if it's Steven Seagal.
She picks
he
up
knows how to.
He's good.
Everything.
He's fucking good.
Yeah, right. He's good.
Because he's a professor. Everybody else is the student. He's a professor.
He's something.
She picks up a motorcycle that weighs more than she does. And then she's immediately like banking a hard turn.
Yeah.
And then she's riding then she hops in a car, then like a truck, then like a steamroller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
I didn't buy it.
She's got it on lock, man. She's impressive.
Yeah.
I love that when she asks her father about the wedding ring, his explanation for not having it on is, "I don't wear it when I fly."
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why don't you? There was no further explanation. Yeah, exactly. No further explanation. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't wear it.
You know,
when
I don't
fly.
think there's a such thing as a low budget disaster movie. Like,
Yeah.
I want to say this looked like The Money Plane to me, but it actually looked like it had a bigger budget with The Money Plane.
Yeah, it
but
definitely
it
did.
still looked like Money Plane.
Yeah.
And it's you can't have a disaster movie on a low budget. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
I agree.
No.
You have to have more things happen than what happened in this movie.
Yeah. Everyone's too emotional. Like, period. The exchanges at the airport before this whole thing. The exchange. I mean, I've never been in a plane where half the people disappeared and it might potentially crash. But like, you would think when you're in that kind of situation, like an eerie calm would take over, because it's kind of in, for lack of better words, it's in God's hands at that point. Like, either you'll survive with some cuts and scrapes, or you'll never have to worry about anything ever again, depending on how it pans out. So
Sure.
like, just. And the way they were reacting was in a way where it's like, if you want the plan to land safely, maybe don't like bum rush the cockpit where there's only one pilot now.
Right.
So, that whole through line bothered me muchly.
Muchly, yes.
Yeah,
of course. Cameron Williams is a bit of a creep, and according to him, a mudslide covers a city in slime.
Yes.
He said that. I don't know. It's mud, not slime.
Yeah. Mud's kind of slimy.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Slimy city.
My son was covered in mud today.
Oh, was
Only
he?
It wasn't mud. Yeah, it was his own shit.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens.
It was a definite mudslide. It's horrifying. Go ahead, Bob.
I'm just gonna double up on Rob's. This is post 9/11. Okay, it's pre-pandemic, but it's post 9/11. I can't imagine that people just disappearing mysteriously would just cause a riot in the cities. You saw they were carrying TVs through the parking lot.
That was
and of course,
hilarious.
Like he said, they rushed the cockpit. I don't see that. I see people just like maybe panicking internally, but kind of like shutting down, looking for the alcohol.
Like
Yeah.
pushing
Here we
it
go
down
again.
pushing it down and acting like you have answers for like a brief moment of time.
Yeah. Right.
Yes.
Chloe's brother is a total wiener. And that's my point I had to make.
But he's a believer wiener.
Yeah, he's a believer wiener. Believer wieners. Let me write that down. All right, your turn, Chris.
Okay, cool. Rayford Steele, or Captain Steele, had to be the name. The name of Cage's character. Was he in charge of naming him?
Yes.
Do you think?
Probably.
I want to be Captain Steele.
His brother asked him as a favor. He's like, "But only if I could be Mr. Steele."
I've got to be Captain Steele.
Captain Steele. Captain.
But Cameron getting on the plane took so fucking long. It's like, get on the plane, asshole. He's just like taking his time trying to get this girl's number so hard.
Yeah.
He finally gets it, and then he like delivers the tickets and blah blah blah. We'll talk about that, I'm sure. Go ahead. Hi, Bob.
Speaking of Nicolas Cage's character, when he's trying to reassure the passengers that everything's gonna be okay, he promises them that we're gonna find the people that we're missing. Like, you should know as an adult, you never promise things like that.
Yeah.
You just don't. Like,
Right.
everyone's eventually gonna die, so you can't say everyone's gonna be okay, no one's gonna die. But you also can't promise that we're definitely gonna find these people. Like, it's just you're just setting yourself up for disappointment, disaster, hatred.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked up. Yeah.
Rebellion.
False hope.
Yeah. I don't like it. Yeah, false hope.
So the smoking gun that Chloe found out that Rayford Steele was planning a trip on his birthday when she was coming to visit were U2 tickets.
Right.
Yeah.
Mom hates you too. It's devil music.
It's devil worshipping Bono. Adam Clayton, the other guy, Edge.
The Edge.
Ed.
That's it. It's just U2. Like he's got like, and I mean, I have my own opinion, but in his in their world, he has like a smoking hot flight attendant babe who he's gonna be shacking up with. Yes, flight attendant, not stewardess.
Yes.
Even though like why I don't know, having your own title is kind of nice. You know.
True.
But you know, it's like so like. Does he get like the Bartles and James on ice in their like Radisson hotel room while they pregame for U2?
I see it. Sounds like a nice afternoon.
Yeah. So yeah, U2
sounds like a sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
U2 didn't get taken in the Rapture.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've actually never seen a pilot leave the cockpit. You know how unnerved I'd be. Have you guys ever seen a pilot leave the cockpit except for like after landing or before landing?
I haven't done
only in the movie Airplane.
Yeah.
When he puts on automatic pilot.
I haven't done a ton of air travel. Like maybe like less than 20 times in my life I've been on a plane. And half that time I was like, you know,
same.
It was when my parents were doing things because that's the last time I had disposable income. So,
right.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, I've never seen it. I think I've been on a flight like 3 times in my life.
I mean, there's only one airline or 1 or 2 airlines that still do like the live demonstration, like with like buckling seatbelts and do the mask. Like I think Southwest does, and maybe JetBlue.
I flew Southwest when I went to Florida and did the pod in Florida.
Yeah.
No, nice.
That was fun. How about it?
I wrote that so I have 2 notes here that I don't remember the detail, but I wrote them down. So the news reporter's mom committed suicide? Was that like did he like share that anecdote?
He did.
Yeah.
Why?
I think calm it was down
to disarm the lady that was gonna shoot him in the head.
the one that was gonna shoot herself because he knows the struggle of being a child growing up without a mom. So he's like trying to convince her not to do that.
All right.
For that reason.
It didn't work.
Yeah. No, it did not work.
Hey, we are trying to do a crash landing without any satellite assistance. We need to make sure this is as safe as possible. Can you blow up as much shit as possible on the runway we're about to land on, please?
I need a fiery entrance.
Yeah. If I can't see Bono, then I gotta
symbolism.
I gotta make my own fun.
Symbolism.
Yeah.
Hey, some Chris's life advice. I haven't done this in a while, but don't have your friend Jimmy at the airport get you U2 tickets that you're going to use as a bang bribe when your daughter knows him.
Right.
U2 bang bribes. Got it. Okay.
I hope we get tagged as U2's podcast.
Yeah,
so,
me too. Exposure.
Here's something else I vaguely remember. Did that random like boomer age guy know the heroin addict? Like he seemed like they know each other?
Yes, yeah, because he knew her dad because he went in there and she had a little plastic desk next to his that she would sometimes be sitting in when he went to his dad's office.
No,
like
it
you
was
said,
odd.
Chris. No, but one of you said it. Like there's some stuff that was really left out of this final cut.
Yeah. It is not. Yeah.
I'm just gonna burn my turn on this because I think you're right, Chris. But like, maybe because I wasn't paying too close attention at this point. But I thought she just reminded him of his daughter who had a plastic desk, and he connected with her because she's around the same age, and like he was a shitty dad, like cats in the cradle with this, like all that whole shit,
Little boy, but then she's like, it was the only time I ever really saw him.
Yeah.
So I
think it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. None of those matter.
Oh my god.
Your turn, Chris.
It made me upset at the time, and now I forget it.
I love how a small plane hits our main character's car. Of course.
Yeah.
Falls into the parking lot and slides along right into her car. That she has to do all the amazing adventure things she does on her way to her house, which include like getting pointed at with a shotgun, and that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, she has her purse stolen by a couple on a moped under a bridge. That actually was super funny.
That was so funny.
Yeah.
Who
Hey,
snatches purses these days?
honestly.
Yeah.
All right, so I said this in my description. I was reading the wiki page again tonight, and it says in the wiki page that he collided with a plane and they ran out of fuel, so they had to turn back to New York. But that's not what happened.
No,
he
it's
decided to turn back to New York first.
Yes, he
then
did.
he hit the other plane.
Which
So
makes
if he
sense
would've just-
because he's no longer on his charted course.
Exactly. So if he would have just gone to London, none of this would have been an issue.
Yeah.
And I'm going
he
to say
could've
I'm going
landed.
to say this now. I'm going to say this now. He said to people on the plane, "Don't worry, we'll be home soon." Don't you think there's like some English guy on the plane like, I don't think so. Like,
Yeah.
I was going home and you just went back to New York, you son of a bitch.
Yeah. Fuck you, dude. Putting our lives at risk.
So
Shit,
those are my
a
two
funny part.
things, and I was so angry about those that I got heated. I'm sorry.
That is great.
Going back to like just the logistics, it's just awfully convenient that they are able to use the sat phone to call his daughter.
It is.
Yeah.
And conveniently
he's a
reconnect
journalist.
every time. Yeah. But like it's if all comms are down, then like why would it even go through in the first place?
But I don't. It wouldn't.
Yeah. So that just bothered me. Among other things.
Yes, I've got plenty more. Wait, Cameron just got off of the plane and was bombarded by religious people, right? Because he was at Cambodia or something where there was a giant mudslide that buried a village, and he's reporting on the natural disaster that it is, and they're saying no, that all this shit is happening because God and the Rapture.
Yeah.
So that means though that he just got off a plane from somewhere in fucking like Laos, and he's boarding a plane to go to London. Why'd he go to New York?
Because that's how airlines work, Chris. That's what we call a layover. You fly 14 hours that way.
No.
You take a runny dump. You get a
your bingo
Cinnabon.
card out. Rob's giving this movie too much credit. There had to be a shorter flight from fucking somewhere in Southeast Asia to London.
I don't know.
Than to go to New
Chris,
York.
The bad shit isn't supposed to happen until the people have been rescued. So the mudslide wouldn't have been part of the Rapture.
Isolated incident.
It would have happened after the Rapture.
Right.
So I'm giving
Bob.
Chris more credit. How about that?
Yeah.
I
What's he
mean,
doing in New York if he's going from Southeast Asia to London? He should be going the other fucking way.
You're still tied up on logistics.
I am. Should be going from wherever he is, India to fucking Germany, and then to
what kind
England.
of agent does he have?
Honestly.
His assistant must be a believer.
He just got off a fucking 20-hour flight, and he's getting on another 6.5-hour one immediately.
20-hour flight, 20-minute layover, fly to London. That's how. that's airlines, baby.
Fucking unlucky.
So in Chloe's mind, she has all but confirmed that the Rapture is happening. And then she decides the best way to mitigate that is committing suicide, which is like one of like the most mortal sins you could ever commit.
Yeah.
Yeah. What happens when you succeed? You go to hell, I guess.
Fire and brimstone.
Yeah, like it's a guarantee at that point. Because she's not good enough for heaven. She knows it.
Yeah.
And that's a sin, a cardinal sin.
Yeah.
So she was ready to go to hell.
Yeah.
God damn.
You have a whole city to yourself. You know, you just yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Enjoy yourself for a little while.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Was it me then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the YouTuber said this, but there are still crashing cars an hour later. And I could have sworn that I saw the bus go off of a bridge into water, and then it was like sinking into the water. But then later, Chloe is looking in the bus for people, asking if everyone's okay.
Could have been a different bus. I mean, like
she pulled. Yeah, I guess she fished the bus out herself. I guess.
You know what they say when a woman sees kids that aren't hers in danger, she could do. Wait, never mind. That's not even true with your own kids. I'm kidding. We would save our kids if they're
hot takes tonight. That's okay, because God will save all the fetuses.
Yes.
I only got 2 left. I'm at the end of the movie already. So,
oh god,
because I'm skipping over all the ones that were already mentioned, like the motorcycle and the naked people and.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm going to, after they crash land and everyone's jumped off the plane. I already mentioned the Muslim kicking the little person down the ramp.
That is
that's gonna make my
true. You
trailer.
did.
That's gonna be in my trailer, forward and backward. I can't wait.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, she went to Buck and hugged him before she went to her dad.
Yes,
that was
she did.
Very.
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
Very good point.
For those who don't know who Buck is, that's the news reporter.
Yeah, we don't know him on a nickname basis like you and Chloe do. We're little people.
I just remember her saying "fuck" and then running to him.
All right. I'm going to end my catch-all on this one, and I hope...
Oh, Jesus.
I know Bob doesn't have it. I was saving this one for last. Chris, did you see what Chloe wrote on the envelope?
This is the saddest day of my life. On a hunch.
On a hunch. Yeah. So, Rob, out. Chris, you can do your thing now. It's all
lightning round.
Yeah.
I got one more.
Okay. Well, I'll go, and then
Chris.
you go, and then I'll lightning. Is the nice Muslim man still there because he believes in the wrong God?
Yeah, it's Jesus, not God.
Right, because he's like we should pray, and the little person is like, to which God? And he's like, to God. Like, whichever one it is, like, let's pray to God. There's obviously a God, let's pray to him. You know, I don't know if it's Christian or Muslim.
Yeah.
But I guess it would have to be Christian. I don't know. Is there a Muslim rapture? I'm not sure that that's true.
Here's the thing: if you look at theology across every like major religion, except for like maybe like Buddhism, because that's all about like like serenity with the self and whatever.
Yeah.
Even though people interpret the theology differently, they all have the same core storytelling components.
Yeah,
and the same
true.
like the same set of morals. The same. It's just it's how they're interpreted that makes people act so radically. So like it's probably just. I think what he's trying to say is like, my God is your God. We just like,
Right. But
it's the whole New Testament thing that really, it's the whole New Testament thing that breaks this all up. Like if you don't believe, it's kind of like how the Mormons are like, if you don't believe our version of Christianity, then you've been,
which is crazy because there's thousands of different versions of Christianity throughout the nation. So
there are like 3,500.
You're really trying to hit a lotto.
Yeah.
Really trying to hit the lotto with the rapture. Which means that many people wouldn't have disappeared.
And obviously,
if you have to get every word right,
it's crazy that all kids went through, like all
every
kids
kid,
not innocent, but are believers. They inherently believe. But also, like there are entire countries whose national religions are not Christianity, so they would have been not affected at all.
Yeah, that's true, which is just fucked. But that made me feel like it was innocent people went to heaven, not believers, because there were plenty of kids, I'm sure, like babies don't have a concept of God yet. So
so fuck them.
So leave them behind,
But their mothers leave. Motherless kid. That's what we want to hope for.
Yes.
That's what this movie should have been.
So my last one. This is not as much a observation of the movie as just a funny fact. So, do you guys know who Kirk Cameron is?
Yeah.
So he was in the. No, that's Kirk Douglas.
Oh, okay. My bad.
So Kirk Cameron was in a TV show called Growing Pains in the 80s.
Yep. I just pulled a picture up. I know.
And
he's got that
he
dumb
ended
forehead.
up being one of those like super uber Christian people that did only Christian projects.
That's right. Yeah.
So this is ironic. This movie was the second film made of this story. In the original Left Behind, Kirk Cameron was the lead star.
Got it.
That was in 2000. In 2014, 2015, the Razzie Awards nominated both this movie and a movie called Saving Christmas, which starred Kirk Cameron. And Saving Christmas won all the awards.
Good. Fuck him.
Exactly. So that was kind of funny. So yes, this was up for some bad movie awards.
Yeah.
It was nominated for Worst Picture, Worst Actor, and Worst Screenplay. And it lost all three to Saving Christmas.
Which actor? Was it the lead actress?
It was Kirk Cameron. Oh, Worst Picture, Worst Actor. So I'm guessing Nick Cage, but it could be wrong.
Well, I don't think he deserves it.
Or it could have been the daughter, Chloe.
See, I thought actor was for both now, like saying stewardess.
No, they went back to actress. I work in this field as far as like reporting goes, and
we're back on actors.
Our writers, it's actors and actresses, and then like comedian is also a frequently used term. Okay. Comedian and comedian.
Just trying to keep up here, That's all.
They've stopped that though.
Just stay where you stay firm where you are, and then eventually it'll circle back.
That's true.
Yeah, it's like a broken clock is still right twice a day.
I'm keeping these bell bottoms in this mullet then. Rayford has plenty of time to lift the plane. It's like that. Have you ever seen a Fish Called Wanda?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know how he's stuck in the barrel, and then Austin Powers makes fun of it later, where there's a steamroller, and the guy he's like, no, but the steamroller's coming so slow, and from so far away, he has plenty of time to get out of the way. That's how I felt about this plane scene, where Rayford could have pulled the plane up, and he's just like staring at it, like, well, are they gonna move?
Yeah.
Not knowing whether there's a pilot in the plane or not, and it just doesn't go off course until it's too late.
Yeah.
Why does she think that her brother warped to the children's hospital?
I know. That was so strange. She's like, there's an emergency vehicle. Is that my brother? There's a downed power line. Is that my brother?
This manhole is open.
I guess if you're going through what would arguably be one of the most traumatic events in your life, I guess you wouldn't be thinking too clearly. But never mind, because that flies in the face of what I was saying, that people are being too emotional. So I just contradicted myself. So scratch that from the record, please.
But also, look, she's got to be 10 years older than him.
Yeah.
Most people I know with a sibling 10 years younger, they barely know each other.
Yeah.
They were basically raised as only children.
That's fair. That's fair.
I
really like the John 3:16 watch the other pilot was wearing.
Yeah,
that was pretty good. Has no one ever heard of the Rapture? Because like everyone's like surprised by Nicolas Cage's conclusion. Like, oh, I've never heard that. The story before, that fable.
Yeah.
How did she get that gun on that plane?
Director's cut.
It was in her fucking purse.
Director's cut.
Yeah.
Chloe is mid giant bridge all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Just like
Director's cut.
Made her sell her way all the way through the city that she didn't live in because she was in the suburbs.
Yeah.
And like ran I don't know how many miles to get mid bridge to climb up to commit suicide.
Yeah.
You know what I was praying would happen is when she was at the top of the bridge that the plane would go overhead. That's what I thought was like she was somehow gonna like see her dad fly by.
A call back to The Rock. She's holding two flares and she's on her knees and the plane's going over.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. The soundtrack is absolutely awful.
Mm-hmm.
Rayford says, "Thank God," when he finds out his daughter was shunned from heaven.
I think he was still putting it together, and he was happy she was alive.
Yeah, I mean, he was happy she was alive, but he was sure by then it was the Rapture. So you're not really supposed to think about it, I guess.
Yeah.
But like,
he knew her thoughts on mom, so he shouldn't be surprised.
That's true. Okay, here we go, Rob. Good thing Chloe knows how to operate work trucks, motorcycles, and steamrollers.
Yep.
Buck says so condescendingly, "See those little numbers about the latitude and the longitude things on on the compass app?" He says, "Read those to me." Not like, hey, can you read me the latitude and longitude, please?
I mean,
like
I guess
she's in the steamroller still at this point, I think.
Yeah,
operating that, but she doesn't know latitude and longitude.
I guess if it's a life or death situation, you want to be as clear as possible, right?
Read me those little numbers, would you, doll?
Yeah,
doll.
She crashed the truck somehow. What a fucking idiot! That was great. Yeah. Of course, there's a tanker at the end of the strip that the plane almost hits by like a couple feet.
Right. That's what
they really needed that 4.5 seconds of suspense to have the point home.
You're still all going to go through hell, and then go to hell. So it's really not a happy ending.
Why bother?
And then, and then Rayford and Chloe Steele should have hugged and then disappeared. I thought, Because that would have been nice. Like the innocents, they believe now. God forgives them. They learn their lesson. And then Buck should have looked up at the sky crying. And then you hear the audience pans up to the sky, and then you hear the sound of it disappearing. But it's left on whether or not Buck got into heaven too, because he believes. You know what I mean? Something like that. Instead of them just staring into the city that's burnt, and then I don't know, was that supposed to be a cliffhanger? There's no good ending. There's no good ending.
So his clothes should have fallen down, and the U2 tickets fell out. Is that what should happen?
Hello,
I think he should have been hugging his daughter, and then their clothes disappeared, not their bodies. Did we have one catch-all clip or other abuser?
Yeah, we have a catch-all clip. 1 second. It's called.
I don't remember
that was Chloe, though, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, get going.
Get going. Here we go.
Hey Bob, you know what that was? That
What
was the
was it?
Muslim guy kicking the little guy down the slide.
Yes, I can't wait.
All right, let's
It
throw
made
to.
no- it made no sense.
It really didn't. I thought they had made amends by then.
Yeah.
All right, what we're watching.
It's all you of Earth
If you're not taking our recommendations, then you're...
are idiots.
All right, who goes?
Same. This is round robin. Chris, Bob, Rob.
There's a new season of Love Island UK, and that's out. I don't know why. This is another thing that you can make fun of me for. Like it's Jersey Shore. If you haven't heard of it, it's another reality show.
Is it because F Boy Island got canceled, Chris?
No, F Boy Island is a like basically a ripoff. All of these shows ripped off Love Island UK,
Might as well be Pepsi.
including Love Island America, Love Island Australia, Love Island Germany, or whatever they have now. Love Island started in the UK. It's 5 attractive people, both male and female, so 10 total, right? And they're all trying to like bang each other without saying it, and like they have to couple up, and then they can win $50,000 at the end. They're all idiots, and this season they're all ugly. So the show doesn't. I don't get why it works, but it still works. They're all British. They're all saying stupid shit like "I've got the chat." She's gonna, there's my bird, and like all this stupid shit, and we love it. I don't know. But we've got a lot of stuff coming up. This is the other thing I'm gonna say. We're gonna watch House of the Dragon season 1 again because we were big Game of Thrones fans. Give me a break. You can make fun of me for that too, I guess. But
That's fine.
everyone
It's
loves
not
it.
my genre, but it's fine.
But House of the Dragon season 1's already out. Obviously, we watched that already. We're gonna watch season 2. It's coming out very soon. And then after that, we're gonna watch The Rings of Power again on Amazon Prime because I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan, and that second season is coming out in the fall. So I'm looking very much forward to those things. Take it away, Bob.
So I hinted at this last week. Quentin Tarantino has a frequent collaborator and close friend named Robert Rodriguez. And
Yes.
they kind of came up together like right around when Reservoir Dogs came out. Robert Rodriguez's first movie came out, and they just like linked up, and they formed that production company, A Band Apart. That's those two, or at least it's those two and one other person. Anyway, Robert Rodriguez, not one of my favorite filmmakers. He's the one who directed Dusk Till Dawn, the one that Tarantino had the foot fetish thing.
Don't like it.
Yeah, I didn't love it. And that's the thing. Robert Rodriguez is not one of my favorite directors, but he made something called the Mexico Trilogy. And it started with an indie film called El Mariachi in 1992.
Right.
No one's in it. It's very low budget, but I'll tell you what, it's so awesome. Because it's low budget, but it's shot so well, and it's edited so well, and it doesn't pretend to be anything it's not. It's just fun, and it's a little bit silly and a little bit hard to believe, but I really, really enjoyed it, and I probably should have stopped there.
My, my cool gamer aunt that I talk about sometimes.
Yeah,
she said that we should do that as a low budget good movie.
The same aunt that told us we should watch Xanadu.
Yes.
Okay, just for the record.
Just making sure.
And then we did.
We owe her nothing. Okay.
She was right. Anyway, it was terrible.
The second entry in the Mexico trilogy was Desperado. I know you all know that one. That was a famous movie. Desperado came out in 95. It has Selma Hayek and Cheech Marin and Quentin Tarantino and Steve Buscemi and mainly Antonio Banderas. And it was kind of like a sequel in the same way that Evil Dead 2 was a sequel. I don't know if you guys know the series.
Yeah.
Evil Dead 2 was kind of a reimagining of the original. It wasn't really a sequel. Better production value, more humor, and that's what this was. But it was arguable that it had more style because El Mariachi, I think, had more style, like in spades.
Okay.
And then the last one was called Once Upon a Time in Mexico. This had Banderas, Cheech again, Salma Hayek, Willem Dafoe, Mickey Rourke, and Johnny Depp. So star power in spades.
Yeah, no kidding.
This was a complete comic book of a movie. And also so much stormtrooper type shooting. It would have driven you guys crazy.
Okay, yeah.
Like Banderas just like climbs walls and like jumps down 3 flights of space into like a dining room table and shoots people the whole way down and ends up fine. And and get this, a third of the movie was in Spanish, yet no subtitles.
Wow.
It was a little annoying, but
that is annoying. Yeah. That is annoying.
I'm being a little privileged at that one because it is called Once Upon a Time in Mexico, and I should, But my least favorite of the 3. So they went in order. My favorite was the first one, second favorite, third favorite. So in my opinion, if you're gonna watch one, watch the first one and stop there.
Maybe we will.
All right. Yeah. I'm kind of adjusting to a new job, so I haven't been like binging stuff as much as I'd like to. I've been still working through. I'm almost done with season 1 of the X-Files. I'm gonna finish the series because it's such good writing, and like
it is good.
They don't have shows like that. They don't make shows like that anymore. But
kind of true.
No, because every episode's in a different setting, different scenery.
Yeah.
So
you don't need the previous really.
It's a big production though. It's like they don't have budgets for shows like that anymore.
Yeah.
It's not like an action pack. Like there's not a lot of special effects in X-Files, but it's like it's nice to know like, oh man, they really went on location or seemingly went on location to all these different places to like make these episodes happen. It's admirable. There's this movie called Little Evil. I don't think I brought it up on here because I was watching a lot of movies a couple months ago and I didn't touch on all of them. It's basically a parody of The Omen. Except a stepfather comes in and like the 5-year-old kid is clearly the son of Satan. Like he calls like the wedding photographer and like there's like deaths and fires and like crazy shit happening and like there's a still shot of the kid just like standing on the hill like overlooking everything with his evil eyes. But like everybody thinks like it's just because you're not bonding with him. And they call like CPS on him because the kid buries him alive. Like the movie opens up with him like they do like the Tarantino thing like non-linear where like he gets dug out of the coffin and he's like, I want a divorce. and then they kind of like rewind.
And then the movie starts,
But clearly the kid's clearly fucking evil, and like there's like all this. There's like a few people that are like, no man, like there's like a whole thing about this like you need to know about, and like everybody's just blissfully unaware, and like you're just a bad dad, and it's really fucking funny.
Is this semi-recent? I feel like I've heard of this.
2017 is directed and written by Eli Craig, and the stepfather's Adam Scott. Okay. So
nice.
It's on Netflix. It's a Netflix original. It's really fucking funny.
Okay.
Yeah. That's all I got this week. I'm gonna do some more heavy lifting on enjoying things again this weekend. But
there you go.
Started a new job, so like I'm just adjusting to like new schedule. So like I'm not staying up till 5 a.m. and texting you guys when you're waking up for work anymore. I have set hours now, so I can't like do the
fair enough.
I'm not making my own hours anymore, so like I'm not.
I don't know. At like 2 a.m. here, I was making up porno classic names with you.
That is true.
I woke up to quite the thread.
Yeah, you did. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, but that's where I'm at. So yeah, mini game or credit names.
Yeah, let's try the bad credit names. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Bad credit names.
Right.
Dustin Rhodes.
Okay.
There's a wrestler called Dusty Rhodes. Very famous. Yeah. Terry Smith Sock.
Ew.
Oh.
I've got 3 more. Billy Jilly Bones Jones. The fuck? Yeah. Gary Grubbs.
Okay.
And Bo Bobo.
Bo Bobo.
Bo Bobo. That's the winner this week, Bo Bobo. All right, let's draw to the offensive minigame.
Sure.
Say, Lieutenant, to get that funny odor, how could I miss it?
That's the smell of the offensive minigame.
What we got?
That might crack me up. Overbearing overdubs for Hands, the Hands of Fate, or Little Person POS PSA.
That one.
For offensive. Yeah, let's go with the little person.
Okay. Window Wizards or Wet Willy Whispers.
Ooh.
Window Wizards.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Window Wizards.
Okay. Steal the Suffocator or Slinking Servant Slipping Up Sleeping Skirts.
It's still Manos. It's the peeping. It's the peeping on the mother and her young daughter that is more offensive than
and we
Nicolas
argued
Cage.
that the suffocating them was actually a good policy.
That was good de-escalation in the right context.
Could have been. All right, let's compare the movies.
Sure.
This gives me a plan.
Let's compare the movies.
All right, Manos, the Hands of Fate, or Hands, the Hands of Fate, as we've determined, is a negative 51.4 M worst of its kind.
Yep.
A negative 44.8 M worst, so Manos wins that one pretty clearly.
Okay. Yeah.
I guess it's like 7 points.
Yeah.
Chris and Bob, a wash. This is why Chris gave himself a 5-star. Excuse me, a 5-star. Because that gave me a 4.75, Bob. You had a 4.75 for Manos, so it's a wash there. Offensive, we just determined is Manos, so it's 2-0 Manos going into dialogue, which is Manos as well.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Low budget, no budget, or the reboot nobody asked for except for a few lawyers.
I'm going to go reboot because, hear me out here. Low budget, no budget was because that was a bet that you couldn't make a movie. And he made the movie. Whereas, like, nobody asked for Left Behind.
I mean, that's a decent argument.
It was funny, though, because Left Behind made $32 million in box office and rentals.
Yeah, because it's like fucking catnip for Christians.
I know. So when I say no one asked for it, I'm talking about us. I'm not talking about them.
Okay.
So I don't know. I don't know. I understand your argument, and I don't disagree with it. I have a hard time believing that literally no one wanted this, you know?
Yeah.
All right, let's skip this for now. Let's table this talk, eh?
Skip it for now. Let's see if it matters.
Let's go to acting. It's Manos.
Manos.
Is it? I don't know. But they're so bad, both of them.
Yeah.
It's probably
really
Manos
bad.
still.
Manos is bad, but this is pretty close.
Yeah. I think Manos clinches it, though.
I guess there is no Nick Cage doing a half decent job at least.
Yeah.
Teen torture for demerits. I don't feel like writing all that again. Or What's Left Behind?
Christianity.
Yeah.
The Rapture.
The Rapture.
The premise. How about that? The premise.
Naked kids.
Naked kids. I was wondering what was it? Muslim midget martial arts?
Yes.
All right.
Oh man. Okay.
So it's like a clean sweep for Manos still, right?
Yeah, it still is.
Yeah, okay.
So it doesn't really matter. 4 to, who cares? Nothing. 4-1, I guess, if you want to take the demerits. Worst of the season is still Manos, the Hands of Fate. No surprise there. We shouldn't do these huge heavy hitters so early in the season. That's my fault.
No, I like doing it though because it's a challenge to see if we could pick something worse.
I mean,
it's
we
nice
were
starting. Yeah, it's nice starting strong out the gate, and then can we top that?
It really proves how bad it is.
Yeah,
and like a university that was paid to find certain research, we were really trying to fudge the numbers there on behalf of the last 3 movies that we've done.
Yeah,
but none of that mattered. It's still Manos, so that just shows the quality of bad movie it really is. We're looking right now, live looking to see what we are doing next week. If you answered the poll, we appreciate it. Right now, 70% of the vote.
Oh, I just looked at it.
goes to Coyote Ugly.
God damn it.
A very last-second choice on my part, by the way. I saw it last night as I was like looking through streaming service.
You were looking through Tubi, weren't you? Were you looking through Tubi?
It might have been Tubi, yeah. It might have been Tubi. And it was like on its way out or something like that. And I was like, holy shit, the movie's awful. We've never done it's like really a chick flick, right? I mean, we've never done one of those.
I just know I know the lore, but I haven't seen it.
My ex-girlfriend, when I was like 16 or 17, this girl Ashley was really into it, so I watched it with her. So I've seen a bunch of chick flicks. For sure. This is not like a rom-com, I don't think, but there's some rom-com elements. It's more like girls are badass.
We don't need no men. Now drink this fuzzy navel out of my fuzzy navel.
But yeah, that's what we're doing next week.
Coyote Ugly it's going on the drive tonight.
All right, cool.
Love it.
Thank you for that, Bob. I can't wait.
We'll see if this copy works for you, Rob.
This movie was cursed, so I'll leave it at that.
It really was.
That's never happened to me before. For the audience, it took me about 5 hours to get those clips compiled for you guys.
Yeah.
Because
thank you, Rob.
My professional grade, like not even being sarcastic, like recording software, for some reason could not extract the clips from this movie.
It went awry. It was at the hands of Satan, who didn't want you to get the good word of this movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
The clips were raptured.
They were raptured.
Rob, why don't you plug us, and then we'll throw it to Bob for his last word.
Yeah. You can find us at www.theworstmovieevermade.com. We are on all the big ones, like Apple, Spotify, Google Play. You could use your little Pocket Cast or your Overcast and get the RSS feed, and you can listen to it through whatever app of your choice. We are on Instagram, we are on TikTok, we are on YouTube. Our episodes typically go live super late on Tuesday, early into Wednesday, and then the video counterpart, Companion, comes out the following Sunday because we get copyright takedowns and stupid stuff that takes a couple days to clear. So,
And don't forget to gently caress that subscribe button or smash it, punch it, whatever you do to it.
Hit the bell, put a hot dog on a drill, and just fucking swipe right as hard as possible. You can find us just theworstmovieevermade.com. There's an email button. The buttons resemble the logos of the places that they will take you to if you are on those platforms, and then you can go there and see what we have to offer. This is like episode 155 or 145. Check our archives out. We have so many movies we talked about at this point. Most of which you've probably seen and loved dearly, and we shit on them for about an hour and a half. So just check it out. You'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
And Bob, do you have last words?
I kept hearing the word steamroller today, so I'm going with that.
All right.
True.
Coyote Ugly next week.
I've got a 5-year-old. It's just in my brain. Steamroller.
Yeah.
Thanks, Blippi.
Skid steer.
And thank you to the audience. We love you, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Ta-ta. The Bulldozer song goes pretty hard, though. This is one of the newer cuts.
Wait, which one?
There's two. Bulldozer.
Yeah. He's got a few different artists.
He's got like 3 Bulldozer songs now.
Yeah.
Steezy Grossman. Sue me. Bye, Jelly Scoot.
Bye, Jelly Scoot.